Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, March 15th, not the Ides of March, y'all, 2024. I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the executive minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ+ community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is a justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ+ community.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections. This is live, and then we are available on demand. We are available on all smart televisions and your favorite social media.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we are here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Christians say character matters. So how can queer Christians watch hypocrisy of Clinton and Trump? In a thought-provoking discussion on the subreddit Christianity, subreddit, users engaged in the apparent disparity in moral standards within the Christian community, particularly concerning former President Donald Trump. The conversation was sparked by a user who highlighted the hypocrisy of some Christians who condemned Bill Clinton's moral failings while overlooking similar behavior in Trump. They lamented the abandonment of moral principles in favor of political power. One user questioned the Christian appeal of Trump, noting that his policies could be supported regardless of his controversial persona. Another likened Trump's relationship with the Christian to a schoolyard where the bully suddenly becomes an ally, leading to a shift in behavior and excuses for his actions. A theory emerged suggesting that some conservatives support Trump as a form of validation or revenge against perceived progressive media bias. However, many participants echoing the sentiment of the original post expressed disappointment in the prioritization of political power over character and values. As the discussion unfolded, a consensus emerged: the need for Christians to reevaluate their priorities, focusing less on political power and more on character. The discourse reflected broader societal concerns about the intersection of faith and politics, prompting introspection within the Christian community. At Queer God Squad, we echo the call for a return to principles of love, compassion, and integrity. Amen. We absolutely do that. You know, when I was reading this, I was thinking about how we are here at Sunshine Cathedral, where we actually refer to God as love. We really work and encourage a loving faith and a loving community. And it really is disheartening to me every time I hear Trump, I can't even say our former president, I'm so sorry, I just can't do that. But every time I hear Donald Trump just speak and talk and abusive and bullying, and it really is, I can't understand how people support that. I truly can't. Yeah. And call themselves Christian. I really don't get that.
Yeah, cruelty and it doesn't make any sense to me. Now, meanwhile, Jimmy Carter was a Sunday school teacher, and then post-presidency became like the world's most famous Habitat for Humanity volunteer.
Right.
And there's the Carter Center for Peace, where he's worked, to bring about peace and fair elections all over the world. And then as governor, Clinton sang in the church choir. His vice president went to seminary before becoming vice president, Al Gore. President Biden goes to Mass regularly, always has. Yeah. When he lived in Chicago, President Obama was a member of a very large Protestant church. People accused him of being Muslim. So he was so faithful, people attributed two religions to him. He was non-Muslim. He could have been,
Yay.
Be what you want to be.
Right, yep.
You get to be in the U.S., I've always heard, but he was a member of a very large Protestant church. Ford was a devout Episcopalian. Bush the First was also a devout Episcopalian, and even wrote a prayer for Episcopal churches to use when he was elected. So if out of all of those leaders, if none of those inspired you the way the least devout, most openly cruel, vengeful, self-aggrandizing, mendacious person in recent political memory does, then being a person of faith is not what you value in a leader.
That's right.
And yes, if Clinton's indiscretions appalled you, and if so, fair enough, I wouldn't want to be married to him. When praising someone whose morals pale in comparison even to Clinton's is the very definition of hypocrisy.
Word.
Yeah.
I look at this guy, and instead of saying
I
former,
can't do it, yeah.
I say ex-president.
There you go.
I'm more comfortable with that. And when I see what he's doing, I always fall back to, why are people following him? And I think they're following him more than anything out of fear. They fear what can be coming. It said that America eventually will be a majority-minority country. What I take that to mean is that no longer will cis white men run everything. And that scares a lot of men.
Yeah.
And because it scares them, when they hear this hypocrite talking about how he's going to make this country great again, because then this is his second go round, I realize that he's saying, don't worry, I got your back. I am going to make sure that you get everything that you're supposed to get. And all those people, the LGBTQ plus community, women, people of color, people who look different than you, are no longer going to be in charge. That's what I hear him saying. And you know, religion's had its problems all along, and people like Jerry Falwell helped bring it to where it is today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised that this guy is their idol, that this guy is their golden calf, that this guy is the guy who's going to bring things back the way they used to be.
He's tapped into something even more than, we don't want our neighborhoods to get too brown, or we don't want women to get too free or whatever, although that's all part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But rural America is his base.
Yeah.
These are the places, they're anti-urban, not just not urban, but anti-urban, very suspicious of urbanism. They are, those are the areas most likely to believe in conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. They're the most likely to deny science. They are the most racist in the country. Mm-hmm. And so they're also the poorest. Yeah. And so what's funny about it, or sad, or strange, or interesting, is that he had 4 years to make something great, and their economic lot got not one bit better. Mm-hmm. If they lived in a hovel in 2016, they were still living in that hovel in 2020. Mm-hmm. If they were working for minimum wage in 2016, they were still working for minimum wage in 2020, and that minimum wage had not increased.
That's right.
And so what was better? What was better is, and they don't even care anymore about this stuff, because what is better is that you get to that you can basically have a Klan rally, and he'll say there's good people on both sides. Mm-hmm. That you can storm the Capitol and crap on the Speaker of the House desk, and he'll say, all right, now, after hours, now it's time to go home, we love you. Mm-hmm. That he will praise the most reprehensible attitudes and behavior. He will deny what is true, and praise what is terrible. And so, and that's what, he's a science denier too. That's what's going to make America great, is when we get rid of all the science. He doesn't believe that all of these isms really exist too. So like, he is saying all of the things that up until now, was the definition of a terrible person. Yeah. Now, you can be this and president. So yeah, I'll eat scraps and drive a 73-year-old car and whatever, and homeschool my kid with most ridiculous, the Bible as a textbook. I'll just do all these crazy things. But now I'm not looked down so much anymore, because now people like me are in power, and I'm willing to be dead ass broke to have that.
And he's spawning a whole new generation of idiot politicians. There's a guy who's on the ballot today. I forget what state, but he's the current lieutenant governor. He's running for governor. And he talks about his time in the Ku Klux Klan.
Missouri.
In Missouri.
Yeah.
In Missouri. Mm-hmm. He talks about his time in the Ku Klux Klan, saying, well, I was Ku Klux Klan light. I don't fully embrace what they're saying. And when I go to a cross burning, it's a cross lighting, all kinds of stupid stuff. And he is the front runner in the Republican Party's primary
And
today.
from his cross, Jesus says, bitch, please.
I'm telling you. But the problem is this guy is bringing forth a new generation of crazy.
The governor of his neighboring state has said so proudly that we should not teach our children that America is a racist country. In fact, it's never been a racist country. She is saying that in a Jim Crow state, in a former Confederate state, with a straight face. Her father was one of the most famous Southern Baptists. Southern Baptists existed to defend the institution of slavery. This Southern Baptist Arkansan with a straight face look at the camera and says, we've never been a racist
I
country.
don't know what you're talking about.
Give me strength.
Well, all I have to say is, evangelicals, if this is who you're holding up as your role model, rethink what you're reading in your Bible.
Yep.
Because you cannot have this and say this is it and read this and act on the words of Jesus.
Yep.
Surely the Trump era is the end of slut shaming.
Oh, no, we're waiting for the Trump Bible now, you know.
You better quit it.
Oh, no,
Really?
please. No.
Well, he's already signed them like it was his.
That's true. He autographed it, right?
Yeah, holding it upside down. In
Hold
front
on, outside the Episcopal Church, he never walked in.
You know, and
Seconds after gassing his own people.
people does that, and now we have people who buy the shoes and not buying the medications or paying the rent.
Yeah.
Just saying.
$400.
What kind of example of a leader do you say, hey, buy my shoes, but don't buy your medication? And I'm not going to do anything to help you get your medication if I become president.
Yeah. See, I just.
Buy my shoes. I'm not going to help you with your rent or anything like that because, you know, this helps me. If you help me do this, then I can help you.
I'm going to negotiate with all the pharmacy places in the world, though, and they're going to be giving you stuff for super cheap. Well, even super cheap is not cheap if you work for minimum wage. And second of all, you had 4 years to do that before. I don't remember it happening.
The famous question, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? No. Under that leadership, no.
Only the most racist, misogynistic, homophobic people would say yes, because I don't have to be ashamed of these deplorable attributes.
I don't have to wear my white sheet in public anymore.
That is the whole thing in a nutshell.
All out in the cloud.
Don't get it.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together, and we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.